My name is Brandi Miller. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. My passion in life is helping people. I'm a 911 dispatcher in Nashville. On January 19th of 2017, I was the passenger in a car that was hit on the passenger side on Belmont Boulevard in Nashville. The driver initially was on the wrong side of the road, came right at us. I just saw headlights, and the driver of the car that I was in swerved and was able to avoid the head-on collision. At the scene, I felt scared, alarmed, and in pain. I had chest pain and neck pain, and I was really worried about my physical well-being. I was taken by ambulance to St. Thomas West ER. I was released later that night, and the next day I began to feel more pain and very worried about the extent of my injuries. I had a prior neck injury about 10 years before this, which I still regularly treated for, but this wreck caused a new injury and also exacerbated the prior injury to the extent that I ended up needing spinal injections, surgery, and multiple other procedures. Before this wreck, I had pain occasionally that I would see a chiropractor for regularly and then for flare-ups, but this pain went from my neck, through my shoulder, down into my left arm, all the way into my left hand. I had numbness and tingling in my hand, interrupted sleep. It ultimately affected every aspect of my life. The reason I needed a lawyer in this case was because the insurance company repeatedly denied my claim. They refused to take responsibility. They said that the wreck that their insured caused did not cause the injury, the new injury that I had. They said that because I had a prior neck injury that these symptoms were related to that, and just refused to take responsibility. I really hoped we could settle the case and try to at mediation, but even then the insurance company refused to offer any amount that was reasonable for my injuries, even an amount that would cover the medical expenses that I had already incurred as a result of this crash. The thing I liked about working with John and his group was that I could tell literally from day one that they saw me as a person, not as a paycheck, if you will, that they were immediately concerned about my physical well-being. Even the first phone call that I made, the first question was, "Are you okay?" And I just felt like I was in very good hands from literally that first phone call. Throughout the workup of this case, the defense lawyers gave me the feeling that I was somehow a crook or a liar, that I was the bad guy, that I was trying to exaggerate something or make something up that didn't exist to get money. John and I talked a lot about the options and whether or not to go to trial, and ultimately we decided to go to trial. During trial preparation, what surprised me the most was how well I was prepared for what I would face at trial. I was also surprised by how much I would be attacked by the other side, but I felt extremely well prepared for that. One of the biggest surprises about the defense tactics was the so-called expert doctor that they hired to do an independent medical examination. They hired someone who was a shoulder specialist when I had a neck injury. I never claimed that I couldn't move my neck, but he just repeatedly said that my range of motion was good. Didn't ask me how I was doing after the accident, how it had changed my life, just asked about basically my range of motion and not much else. At the end of the day, the jury came back and validated my story, validated that, yes, this wreck hurt me, caused me a permanent injury that I'll live with for the rest of my life. I could tell that John was very invested in this trial. I could tell that he was extremely passionate about the trial, about me, my story, my injury. If I had to do this whole experience over again when it comes to picking an attorney, I would absolutely, without question, hire John Griffith.